Welcome to CSGuitars, the science of loud. We're often told that true beauty is on the inside. The external is only superficial and we should strive to look a little deeper. With most guitars, beauty is only skin deep, but not with the Yamaha Revstar range. Despite their stylish blend of vintage and modern aesthetics, sunrise fades and bespoke tailpieces, what's happening inside these instruments is what deserves our affection. Strip away the skin and this is what lies beneath. Now, chambered bodies are nothing new. Many companies have been carving out material to reduce the weight of their solid body electric guitars and gluing on pretty tops to hide the holes. But what makes this series of chambers and hollows unique is the science behind their design, as there is more to this chambering than just shedding weight. Yamaha utilise an acoustic design process which includes creating a 3D computer model of the Revstar and simulating how the materials of the body and neck respond to different vibrational conditions. This type of modal analysis is pretty common across all manufacturing, where being able to simulate the deflection and response of proposed parts to different modes of vibration can help improve the design or avoid unwanted effects prior to manufacture. By running these kind of simulations, it's possible to visualise how these vibrational frequencies permeate the guitar, informing where to remove or retain material to reach a desired effect, be that killing unwanted low-end resonance or achieving more mid-range sustain. You'll notice that the cavities have a ribbed structure, which is sure to match up with important vibrational nodes and keep the structural integrity intact. The area behind the bridge remains chamber-free, which is a deliberate design decision made to properly balance the guitar. Weight relief in the wrong places will result in neck dive and an instrument which is uncomfortable to play. This kind of simulation and measurement analysis during the design process is a far more proactive approach than just routing cavities anywhere and seeing what the result is, and it can ensure the instrument performs as expected, both in sound and comfort. Another way in which the Revstar tries to use its body to tune the instrument's performance is in the use of carbon reinforcement. Installing lengths of carbon reinforcement to provide additional rigidity to parts is also nothing new in the guitar world, but it's something we more commonly associate with the neck. We can see two lengths of carbon reinforcement flanking the truss rod channel, strengthening the neck, protecting it against warping or excessive bowing as we change the tension of the strings. With this carbon reinforcement, we shouldn't have to adjust the truss rod so much to compensate for different tunings and string gauges. The Revstar utilises carbon reinforcement in the neck for these reasons, but also in the body in two areas near the bridge. What possible reason could Yamaha have for further reinforcement here? Adding stiff carbon fibre in select locations is yet another way to modify the vibrational response of the body material. Tuning the placement and length of these reinforced areas will work to limit the propagation of certain frequencies throughout the body, preventing those frequencies from being reintroduced to the strings via the sustain mechanism of the resonating system. Yamaha claim these carbon fibre sections tighten up the low end by modifying how unpleasant bass frequencies can move through the body. All of this is achieved through the same 3D simulation process that brought us the scientific chambering design. In addition to this reinforcement, the Revstar professional models go through a process that Yamaha calls Initial Response Acceleration, or IRA for short. Troublesome acronym aside, this is a procedure which relaxes stresses in materials using specific frequencies to give a played-in feel right out of factory. Be it playing pink noise through a new speaker to get the cone flexing in all the right ways, or running signal through new valves for hours until they settle into their amplification, or setting your new acoustic guitar in front of a loud sound system to cut down on the playing required to get its solid top to soften into its best vibrational pattern, accelerating the playing in phase is highly desirable. It's just not something that we typically associate with a solid body electric guitar, but Yamaha claims that their process has measurable results. Now, Yamaha are incredibly secretive about the process they employ to achieve these results, saying only that it's done in-house in the Japanese factory where they apply vibrations specific to each individual guitar which help consolidate the wood, paint and hardware, removing any gaps which may negatively impact the resonance and vibrational transfer of the instrument. This consolidation process would happen naturally over many years of playing the guitar, but being able to accelerate this process in factory provides a brand new instrument which has the resonant feel of a vintage guitar. To get a more conclusive answer on if all these innovations make for a better playing instrument, I've enlisted the help of Crannar, a touch-sensitive, jazzy player who already had some experience with the Revstar range.
And it's a really interesting guitar. I mean, the first thing that I'm going to say right off the bat is that it's a guitar that you can build your own voice into. It's not a Les Paul, it's not a Telecaster, it's something you can work with and get your own voice.
And how much do you think the science of the internals of the body is contributing to that? Because if I let you hold this professional here and grab once again the chambered body with the carbon fiber reinforcement. Did you realize this was on the inside of this guitar before today?
Not really. I knew that it was chambered, but not in this way. I mean, I thought it was chambered because of weight relief, but it looks like there's something more that went into it.
The model you've got here is the standard model, the sort of mid range of the three that they do.
Exactly. So I believe these are €5.99 euros, and it's a really good value guitar, if you ask me. But the other thing is that they have different kinds of models. They have the professional series if you want to splurge and get a good guitar.
Which is lovely. I love it with the P90s and that spokes tailpiece. That's just a gorgeous piece of design.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for tailpieces like that. I play hollow bodies a lot, and they come with these, but I just love them. They look incredible.
So let's hear a bit of what this Revstar can do.
Sure. So I'm on the neck pickup, but it's just the regular humbucker, and it sounds something like this. Oh, I had the tone rolled up, so let's try with the tone full. So, very clean sounds, pronounced mid-range, and yeah, I like them a lot.
A good bit of resonance on that as well. The notes just seem to ring.
Yeah.
Which is beautiful. This is all going through the Super Crush. The Orange
yeah.
Super Crush, solid state amp.
Yeah.
Clean with a bit of compression and reverbs on there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just to sweeten it up, make it sound nice.
Yeah. So it has a 5-way switch. So again, a lot of versatility when it comes to the tones. So let's go to the second position or the 4 position, and that sounds like this. Completely different, if you ask me. It sounds like it could be another guitar. It can sound like a Strat, but not quite, and that's what I love about these guitars.
Those clean sounds, great. Should we throw some distortion on it and show just what other characters it can have as well?
Yeah, sure. Let's go for the bridge pickup with some distortion, and then we're gonna talk about the dry switch. I think that's a really cool part of this guitar. So yeah, I'm gonna try to play with gain. I don't do that very often, so here goes nothing.
Which just sounds sweet to me.
Yeah, sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good. And it reacts really nicely with my playing. I really dig these guitars, as you can probably tell.
So that dry switch that you were talking about, explain it to me. I've not had a chance to really look into the electronics yet.
So I don't know the physics behind it, the technology behind it, but to me it sounds like it's giving a push into the lower mid-range. So it's shaving off some high end, but it's also giving you a boost, like an audible boost, and it's also pushing the lower mid-range. Turn off the distortion, go to the neck pickup, and engage the dry switch. You can hear that it's a bit louder, so here's without it, and here's with it.
Lifts it.
Yeah, so it's pushing the amp a little bit, and it's shaving off some high end, but it's also pushing the low mid. It's not just shaving off high end. I think it's pushing the low mids a little bit. And let me play some more. can actually work really well in a jazz context. I really like that dry switch.
It very much is almost like a jazz setting for the guitar.
It kind of makes the guitar like feel a lot bigger. It kind of makes it feel like a hollow body
Yeah,
guitar.
I was like, physically larger. Yeah.
And you don't have to like play with knobs or anything. You just pull it up and you have a really nice jazz tone. P90s, I love P90s. They're my favorite pickup, to be honest. And I haven't played a Revstar with P90s before, so it's gonna be something new. So yeah, full on neck pickup. That's where I live.
That gave it enough boost to even put a touch of drive in there.
Drive, and we're running through a solid state amp.
Clean solid state, which is ridiculous, and that's all. And it's not active electronics in this. There's no batteries in here.
There's no batteries, but I think they have this sort of preamp in it, passive preamp. It kind of looks cool, but we probably have to open it up. That's going to be for another thing. And it opens up a lot of dynamics with the dry switch. You can play with your fingers. You can like change your attack when you hit the guitar. Not hit the guitar, the strings, I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, really, really nice guitars.
And the aesthetics of this professional model, we've got the tailpiece on the end, which looks like a custom sort of piece for these Yamaha guitars.
Yeah, and they also, like, what I like about it is that this tailpiece also comes in the standard range. So if you look right behind you, there's one with the P90s, and it has the same tailpiece, and it looks the same. And to be honest, I don't know what's different between these, other than the fact that they're made in Japan, and this one is made in Indonesia, I believe.
Yeah, so this is the standard. That's a professional.
And they look
different grades, but you couldn't tell from the outside.
No,
At
you would
all.
think that it's just a different color. Maybe the quality of the rosewood, that looks a bit drier, in my opinion. But other than that, nothing some lemon oil can fix.
Exactly.
So other than that, I don't think you can distinguish which one is made in Japan and which one is made in Indonesia.
It's really only what's inside.
Yeah.
Inside the body even which matters. I think there's some changes to the physical internals. It's perhaps a difference between the two.
I think the standard doesn't have the carbon steel inside, whereas the Pro Series has them right here somewhere. Kind of feels the same. To be honest, it kind of feels the same. The setup is actually a tiny bit better for my preference on this one. It has a lower action, but you can hear that some of the notes are buzzing, but with a loud amp, that's not going to happen. So I kind of like the setup on this one better.
So you prefer that one?
Yeah.
Just from your own personal?
Yeah, I prefer this one. The looks, the gold top on that one is
it's a really nice
incredible. So we don't admit it that often, but I think guitar gear is about looks. Even if it's an amp, it's supposed to sound good, but if it doesn't look good, like, what's the point?
That's where the main attraction is, isn't it? The first taste is with the eyes, as they say.
Yeah.
So you got to look good and sound good.
Exactly.
And I think these do both. They've got that sort of not quite vintage, but also very modern kind of aesthetic to them. They have those satin necks, which I love the feel of. You don't get stuck up on them.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, it's all around well designed for playability, and
Definitely.
And you've been using them, so that's
yeah. So I had the standard series with the humbuckers, and I would love to check one like for a longer time the one with the P90s, because again, P90s are my favorite pickups out there because they're really dynamic and very versatile.
That probably has more of an impact on a clean tone.
Yeah, so just like dynamics, and that sounded great, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Dynamics and the dry switch have a better effect on clean tones. So again, that adds a lot of dynamics to it. But with distortion, it kind of gets lost. So that's that. I think that's something made for like the clean player, the jazz player. And I feel appreciated by that.
Do you feel that not enough guitars are aimed towards? Yeah, there's too many rock and roll guitars.
There are. Yeah. But I mean, you can play, nowadays we're living in a golden era for gear, and you can play almost anything on anything.
The versatility is the name of the game when it comes to gear these days, and these seem to do it.
Yeah. And they look cool. Okay. Yeah. Looks.
So even if you don't believe in all the science hype, you can always fall back on outward appearances. The Revstars look great with enough variance in colours and finishes that most people will be able to find something they like in the range. If you do get a chance to check them out, then you definitely should. Perhaps getting your hands on them will convince you that what's on the inside does indeed matter.